Hi, I'm Lisa Leiter. In Chicago Business Today, Derrick Rose. The Chicago Bulls on Thursday will continue their playoff run, all in an attempt to snag their first NBA title in 13 years. All eyes are on the team's star point guard, Derrick Rose, who some say has what it takes to become the next Michael Jordan. While Rose has no problem facing big-name opponents on the court, the question is whether he's ready to become a big-name brand himself. Danny Ecker has the story.
For some of today's top athletes, becoming a global brand is a desire. For Derrick Rose, it may just come with the territory. The 22-year-old Bulls phenom has earned a spot among the NBA's elite in just his third season, on track to become the youngest MVP in league history and well-positioned to lead his team to a deep playoff run. If he keeps winning, Rose stands to bolster his endorsement portfolio, already valued between $1.5 and $2.5 million annually. What remains to be seen, though, is how much Rose, like Michael Jordan did 20 years ago, will embrace the spotlight off the court.
I remember him and Spike Lee in some commercials, but if anything, you wanted to be like him on the court, not off the court like that, but on the court, the way that he played, sometimes you really want to be the player, not the person.
Rose has thus far built a reputation as a quiet leader, albeit a killer on the court. It's a far cry from some of his more outspoken competitors who ride their personalities to top-dollar endorsements, but a trait that could work in his favor. In the wake of once reliable spokesman Tiger Woods' fall from grace and the off-the-field troubles for NFL star Michael Vick, sports marketers point to Rose's value added for brands that are now weary of associating with a potential loose cannon.
When you think about major brands and what's at stake, I mean, we're talking about billion-dollar brands who really can't afford a scandal. I mean, you look at the cost to companies who had to back out of deals with someone like Tiger. We're talking about a major investment on their part. So this is absolutely something they're taking a really hard look at and saying, how can we minimize our risk?
The trickiest challenge for Rose may be the social media-fueled environment in which he's growing, one very different even from just a few years ago. While 7 of the 10 most lucrative NBA endorsers are on Twitter, Rose is not. And even though that may hinder his marketability, he's just fine keeping it that way.
I really am like no one in my business like that. I have a personal life. When you see me on the court or see me somewhere else, I'm definitely friendly, talkative, getting used to being around people, but sometimes you just need time to yourself.
If a guy's not on Twitter, not on Facebook, not doing those kinds of things, that's going to factor in there. And you say, well, all things being equal, if I'm considering two different athletes to be the endorser for my brand, and one of them is very active on Twitter and all the other social media, that might tip the scales in the favor of that athlete.
What Rose does have in his favor is a team whose play was televised nationally more than any other this season. He also has an asset in agent and former Bulls guard B.J. Armstrong, who was front row for the rise of Michael Jordan, and one endorsement, 2K Sports Video Games, that is the primary sponsor for the NBA's coverage in Europe. Which means that if the rising star does want to drive to grow his brand worldwide, the lane is clear. For Chicago Business Today, I'm Danny Ecker.
Thanks, Danny, for that report. If Derrick Rose follows the path of previous up-and-comers in the NBA, he'll likely add top-tier partnerships with official NBA brands, which include Coca-Cola, Budweiser, American Express, and T-Mobile. In addition to 2K Sports, Rose also has contracts already with Adidas and Powerade. Well, that's this edition of Chicago Business Today. You can read Danny's story in this week's print edition of Crain's and on chicagobusiness.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.